Welcome to the No Dunks podcast on the Athletic Network. It's Friday, April 14th, 2023. This is The Drop. I'm J.E. Skeets here in the Classic Factory, and alongside me, as always, that's Tass Mellis.
Podcast listeners, this is for you.
Next to him, it's the bearded one, my top shot hot boy, Trey Kirby.
Heyo.
Heyo. And over yonder, making the magic happen here on a Friday, super producer, JD.
Hello.
There he is, and here we are. Shout out to the stream team joining us live right now on YouTube. Like the vid, subscribe, comment away. Get your No Dunks merch over at nodunks.com. Hats and t-shirts and sweatshirts. Some call them hoodies.
Yeah.
Mugs.
Zip-ups. No zip-ups.
No, we don't
I
have
call
a zip-up.
sweatshirts zip-up sweatshirts.
You do?
Yeah.
Huh.
Wait,
What?
I'm only if they have a zipper?
Yeah.
Like you're not calling
That's a
this
sweatshirt.
Zip-up. That's a sweatshirt.
This is zip-up?
But is it a hoodie? It's a sweatshirt. It's a hoodie.
See, I think those
Yes,
two maybe,
yes.
but not a zip-up.
No, not a zip-up.
Not a zipper to be found on this. But I do love the NBA. I had to wear this for the playoffs this weekend. Love all the teams, all the games, all the action. I love the refs. Check out yesterday's No Buffs podcast, recapping episode 7 of Survivor 44. Lots of talk about some new twists and the new control of vote advantage and salty potato chips. So check that out. If you are a Survivor fan, now is the perfect time to get in. All the crappy episodes of Survivor 44 are done.
They're all over.
Bangers from here on out.
That's right.
Calling it now. It was all right. It was fun. We had a blast talking about it. And this weekend, in anticipation of Fast X, which is, weeks away of dropping, we're re-releasing the next installment from our old summer podcast series, Fast Friends. And this weekend, 2013's Fast and Furious 6. Fast Friends breaking it down. When are we going to drop this is the problem, JD? Because I believe we're going to have a little Saturday NBA podcast for the people out there, recapping the play-in games tonight and getting you all set for the action on the weekend. So I don't know, do we post it after that? Do we post it on Sunday?
Oof, really tough.
Do we do it before?
You're saying a Friday night Fast Friends?
I don't know, maybe like midnight or set it for 3 a.m. or something.
Late
Midnight,
night
West
Fast
Coast,
Friends?
West Coast,
Jeez, this is a
midnight.
good idea, JD. I think there's something there. Anyway, Fast Friends coming at you at some point this weekend. Keep your eyes and your ears peeled. Okay, on today's drop, Tass, you have Worst of the Week nominees.
Some good ones.
Yeah?
Oh, yes. Absolutely. And a nice little surprise for you guys as well.
Okay. We have an old friend making an appearance in Tweet of the Night.
Yes, we do.
Right?
A man we have spoke to many times.
That's right. And we will end this drop podcast with a little rapid fire fun. JD's got the questions this week. We'll have the answers here. But, guys, the NBA playoffs, they do start tomorrow. I know we got the play-in games tonight, but we already talked about those on yesterday's podcast. We all know the Bulls are going to win. And then we're
absolute guarantee.
and then we're a little unsure who's going to win the Thunder Wolves. But look, we talked about them. Let's talk about the actual playoffs. Here is the Game 1 schedule on Saturday and Sunday. We start with Brooklyn, Philly, and then it's Hawks in Boston. Then it's Knicks, Cavs, and then the only Western Conference game there on Saturday. It's a doozy. It's Warriors in Sacramento on ABC. And then we got on Sunday, Lakers, Grizz gets us started. Probably the Bulls versus the Bucks. Clippers, Suns, and then the winner of that final 8th seed in the West versus the Denver Nuggets. That is the game that will cap us off there on the opening weekend. So I got a few questions for you guys. And for everybody joining us live and listening later, which Game 1 are you most excited for and why? Task, get started.
Well, I'm starting on Saturday because I have the inability to look ahead, really. But Saturday, I'm just excited for Cavs Knicks, as I have been all season long. It just feels like a coin toss, number one. It feels like these two teams are better than a 4 or 5 seed. Some of the numbers say that, and the Cavs 51 wins. Yeah. One of only 3 teams out there to be both top 10 in offense and defense. Number 1 in point differential per possession. You like that stat? Wow. It's an important stat. It's a geeky stat. But I think it will play through. Yeah, both teams, I think, better than their records. Not a typical 4-5, but typical in that it could go either way. Also not typical in that you have really 2 superstars on either side. Is it too much to call Jalen Brunson a superstar? I'm okay with it. In this scenario, a couple of weeks ago, he dropped 48 against the Cavs. Mitchell had 42 in that game. Oh, yeah. And it is a little premature to just throw that label out there, because we do throw that label out there. But I am just really interested in, can he keep up what he did last year before Luka Doncic came back in that series? Had a 41 in those first 3 games, 32 points per game overall. So that battle, there's just so many battles in that series.
Yeah,
Man, so many freaking stars. And Randall's star, very important, as we talked about in the preview. Yeah, just overall, Saturday, exciting.
Oh, Saturday's looking nice. I actually like the way it builds because to me, no offense, Sixers Nets, the least interesting thus far series.
I hear you.
I also don't think Celtics versus Hawks is going to be a banger of a series. We'll see some highlights, but I'm really liking how it builds. Great games. To my personal choice for the game one I'm most excited for, Kings Warriors.
Hell yeah.
Saturday night. First Kings playoff game since some of our fans have been born. I would have to imagine, There's got to be a 15-year-old out there watching no dunks, seeing Tass wear a hat for the first time in a decade. Can't believe it. It's going to be lit, no doubt, in Sacramento.
Yep.
They will be wanting to light that beam. I'm sure every King who has had a moment will be in the crowd somehow, some way. They're obviously going up against the Warriors team, who is the defending champions and kind of the big brother to the Sacramento Kings. It's easy to forget now that the Warriors have been good for basically a decade. They used to be the Kings. They used to be terrible.
Yeah.
They had a huge, long playoff drought. What was it, like 94 to 2007 or something like that? It doesn't sound as long when I say it, but it is long. That's
long.
13 years.
Yes.
Yeah, that is
That's long in the
13
NBA
years.
In the NBA, where it feels like
Totally, yeah.
2/3 of the team make it every year. Sure.
Yep, so they won their We Believe series way back when against the Dallas Mavericks, and Steph Curry showed up, and suddenly the Warriors are one of the greatest teams we've ever seen. Could the Kings do something similar? I don't know about that, but it's going to be an awesome game to watch. It'll be fun to see Wiggins back in action for Golden State. This is going to be the most whole team we've seen for the Warriors, which is good. And then the Kings, we're just going to see how they play in the biggest game that any of these guys have ever played. Should be exciting.
Yeah. The average price for game one on Saturday at the Golden One Center, it's the most expensive ticket on record in the first round of the playoffs, which is a little wild. According to TickPick, the average purchase price for game one at the Golden One Center is how much? What would you guess? Average price. Game one in Sacramento, where they haven't hosted a playoff game in a very long time.
Yeah, I saw the difference between their game one and then the Warriors' first game three, which was far lower in Chase Center, which I was shocked by. So something like 400 versus 260 or 450 versus 260 or something like that.
TickPick saying the average purchase price for game one, $747.
It has tick-picked up because earlier,
pricey ticket.
Before TickPick got in on this this graphic, it was literally like four. Anyways, it was closer.
But still a huge difference.
It has ticked up for sure.
Absolutely.
That's ridiculous.
Game's going to be hyped. And we have some news with that series, that game. Andrew Wiggins, who hasn't played since February 13th, Golden State is getting him back for round one. We had figured that, but it sounds like game one, they think he's going to come off the bench, and he'll probably play between 20 and 25 minutes as he tries to find his rhythm. But this is huge. We talked about it in the preview, like the idea of like him bolstering their perimeter defense. De'Aaron Fox, I am very excited to see him in a first round series here and see what he can do. But holy crap, it is not going to be easy when the Warriors can throw. If DiVincenzo starts on him. Then you obviously have Gary Payton II who's going to get a lot of look at him. And then Wiggins as well. And then in addition to that, obviously Draymond Green roaming around and barking out orders and stuff like that. Not going to be easy here for Fox at all. Like those are three really solid perimeter players in addition to a solid defense. So very excited for that game. Both those series are awesome. And I'll add the shorthanded Grizzlies against the red-hot Lakers in a 2-7 matchup. There's going to be some drama. We know that.
Who's the favorite?
Oh, yeah.
Who's the favorite out there? With the way people are picking the Lakers,
A lot of people picking them.
it feels like the majority. And there's a quick poll done on The Athletic from an executive and a scout. The majority of those, it was a small sample size, but they're picking the Lakers.
Yeah.
So, of course that's exciting. Everything's exciting. You know how I can talk myself into the Sixers, Nets being exciting? Embiid's never swept anybody. So the Nets are going to win a game. They should win a game.
Wow, okay.
Nice.
And if not,
Respect.
If not,
Okay.
then Embiid's got a sweep for the first time.
All right. Compelling series all around. We're very
yes.
excited for the actual playoffs to start here. Here's a fun question. Trey, you get started. Who's a role player to watch this weekend? So forget the stars for a second. Who could change the outcome of a game one or a series, or just like someone you're zeroing in on?
Well, let me ask you, J.E. Skeets. Would you consider an award winner a role player?
Potentially.
Well, this guy could potentially win Sixth Man of the Year. Emmanuel Quickly.
Oh, absolutely.
Is he a role player or is he a star? He's a star in my heart. He's a star in Tom Thibodeau's rotation, no doubt about it. And I think he's going to play a big role in this series against the Cavaliers. I think the bench can be an advantage for New York. Absolutely. Between Quickly, maybe Hartenstein gives you a little bit of minutes. Maybe Obi Toppin is out there running around. Josh Hart will have an impact on the glass. But Quickly, since the All-Star break, 21 points per game, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 46 from the field, 40 from 3, 88 at the line. I think he's also going to be one of the better options for New York on Donovan Mitchell or Darius Garland. He pushes the pace, plays very, very fast, shooting 37% from 3 on the season. RJ Barrett's only at 31% on the season. So it'll be interesting to see if, as the series goes on, Quickly gets the starts over Barrett. I imagine Barrett's minutes are going to get eaten into in this series between Quickly and Hart. I just think Quickly is such a impact player for the Knicks. And I don't know. I would almost think about starting him for Julius Randle if Randle is not able to go in game 1, just because the three-point shooting and the speed will give the Cavs problems. And I don't know. I think Quickly could swing things for New York here. So I'm excited to see him.
I'll piggyback off that because I wrote down Quentin Grimes as a role player to watch for a couple reasons. One, he is going to get a majority of the assignment on Donovan Mitchell. Like, can you try and slow down Mitchell's 3-level scoring? And he is a great defender. For the real sickos out there, watch Grimes' effort when it comes to like getting around screens and fighting over screens. And that Mitchell is involved in a ton of them, flourishes in a ton of pick and roll action, as you should with the bigs and the screens that they can set on Cleveland. But the good news is that Grimes, one of his strong suits, one of his best attributes as a defender is his physicality, and he'll fight through that stuff. So I can't wait to watch that matchup. Also, offensively, this blew my mind. Over the last 9 games of the regular season, they didn't play the greatest teams in the world, so take it with a grain of salt. But Grimes averaged 22 points per game, shot 54% from the field. He's on fire from 3. 48% from deep on nearly 5 made three-pointers a game in the final 9 games of the season. 82% at the line. Doesn't get there a lot, but 4 boards, 4 assists, and a steal in 36 minutes per game. He is, he's like a Dylan Brooks without the weirdness or something like that. Like, he's like,
wow.
I mean, there's
He's shooting ridiculous
he's on
percentages
fire
compared to Brooks.
He's on fire.
48% from 3 on 10 3 balls a game.
Yeah, over this last
firing
stretch.
10 3 balls a game. Yeah, over the last 9 games.
So that is going to be
a good sample.
He's got to play
9
incredible.
games.
Yeah.
9 games in the part of the season that matters the least.
Totally, that's why I
not
said
a
it.
sample size to me.
You can win a series. You play less than 9 games in a series.
Yeah, but you play against a team that's trying to win.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fine.
he got lucky at the end of the season. We'll see if he continues. I'm high on Grimes as well. I think that the Knicks, if they're going to win the series, they got to shoot the Cavs out of it, because the Cavs have Mitchell that can hit threes. They got Garland who can hit threes. LeVert's good off the bench. After that, you're looking at 2-pointers and defensive guys.
Yeah, I'm taking the Cavs in this series, but Grimes, one of his best attributes on offense is not firing contested shots, and that's why he hits a ridiculous percentage recently. One of his best skills is going by closeouts. If you want to be a real sicko, he's really good at that if guys are flying out at him. And, yeah, it is interesting to see what the Knicks perimeter guys are going to do against this Cavs monster. The monster's inside. And that's why RJ Barrett is unlikely to play a ton in the series, I don't think, because he's not a three-point shooter. And so Tibbs has a great option with Emmanuel Quickly. I totally agree that he could start for a couple guys. Yeah, Barrett or Randall if he's not playing well. And the fact that he has been in and out of the starting lineup and played well in both spots, that's why Tibbs can easily just say, I'm comfortable starting you, comfortable with you coming off the bench. He has grown so much. Yeah, so I can talk myself into the Knicks winning, and that's why this is a great, great series.
It is going to be exciting to see, like, from game to game, who's the best big in that series, too. Like, is it going to be Mobley? Is it going to be Randall if he's, can bounce back from the injury? Obviously, Jared Allen, Mitchell Robinson could have monster games. I don't think that would shock anyone. Obi Toppin. Talk about a guy that's sort of been on fire at the end of the season, too, when it comes to shooting. So that'll be exciting. And the Knicks wall, back to Grimes for a second, I had forgotten, like, a part of the narrative of all of it is, like, he was one of the most coveted pieces in a potential trade when rumors were swirling that the Knicks were going to be active and going for Donovan Mitchell. So they obviously keep him. That deal doesn't happen. He goes to Cleveland, and now we get this matchup. Can't wait. So quickly, Grimes, for the Knicks, some role players. What about you? Maybe another series?
Well, I think everybody on the Clippers, aside from Kawhi, is somebody to watch as a role player. I mean, they're gonna roll 1,000 role players, whether it's Eric Gordon or Norm Powell, who can score a ton, or Nick Batum, who's going to play some minutes on Kevin Durant. That's probably the lengthiest of the lengthy guys to try and throw Kevin Durant. But I'll throw the Hawks in there, and I know people aren't super excited about their chances against the Boston Celtics, but there's going to be a game 1 stolen this weekend by a 7 or 8 seed. It's going to happen, and it could be the Atlanta Hawks. It happens. It happens the last few years. I'll take you through the stats during the play-in tournament era. A 7 seed or an 8 seed wins. Game 1.
Game 1.
Every year. So anyway, I could be the Hawks. They have been flowing. And it's not just one player on this team. Their bench is awesome. Their bench is the most efficient scoring bench in the league since the trade deadline at 50.4%. It's kind of odd to think about that because we think the Hawks stink, but they're shooting 50.4% from the floor since the deadline. That's a pretty good stat. 42 points off their bench per game. Throughout this entire season, Bogdanovic, Sadiq Bey, Jalen Johnson, and Yeka Kongwu are just rolling. And the Celtics starters are going to beat the Hawks starters. They got to win the bench battle, and that's important. And this game 1 is the one to steal, I think, because Jaylen Brown's hand is maybe slightly wounded, and maybe not. But he's going to play, even though he cut it on a vase.
Yes.
The glass got him. But it is a Saturday game. Maybe that helps them one less day for his hand to heal.
Oh wow!
For the cortisone to kick in or whatever's happening with that hand. But the bench has been solid for the Hawks. They got to keep it up. It's going to be a tough sledding for sure.
Which player is under the most pressure heading into not just this weekend and the game 1s, but like the entire series and even the playoff runs? And we're really talking about stars here. Who is it to you?
Oh, it's Joel Embiid.
Soon to be MVP, Joel Embiid?
He's going to get the MVP, I think, in the second round because they pick and choose the day whenever they want to do it.
Yeah.
Whatever serves them best in terms of the presentation and all that. So he gets the MVP for the first time that he's been yearning for. And will he be able to pass that second round series, win that second round series for the first time in his career? He's never made a conference finals. So this is a lot of pressure. Will it be against the Celtics in that second round? A team that essentially owns him? Yeah, most likely. Yeah, a team that essentially owns him. They rely so much on him. And that's also the part of the pressure. I think he's the most relied upon superstar in the NBA. He's got the second highest usage percentage besides Giannis Antetokounmpo. Yep. But Giannis will try and rely on Chris Middleton more as the series go on, who didn't play this year. But James Harden is clearly just giving the ball to Joel Embiid. It's going to be on him a lot. And so, pressure in terms of gameplay, and pressure in terms of storylines, pressure in terms of just haven't been there yet. So I think it's Embiid. Yeah,
because if they come up short again, and that would be losing in the second round, and maybe in like drastic fashion too, like maybe the Celtics sort of just wax them. I guess it's potentially could happen. Serious questions, right? It's like, will Harden decline his player option, and would he leave in free agency? What happens to Doc Rivers? Would he be immediately canned? What would the front office do in terms of building a roster capable of actually going far in the playoffs around Embiid? You're right. I mean, tons of pressure, especially then when you add in the MVP trophy coming his way, which he's going to get here.
Yes, absolutely. I've consumed quite a few basketball podcasts in the past couple of days, and it seems about 50-50 split on should the Brooklyn Nets double Joel Embiid, get the ball out of his hands, and take their chances with Harden and Maxey and Tobias Harris hitting threes, or do you guard those guys and say, Embiid, go for 50 every single game,
almost
maybe wear yourself down.
Yeah.
I don't know which way is the way to go. So I imagine Brooklyn will try everything they possibly can because they don't have an answer. But I don't know. Maybe just saying Embiid, take every single shot. Can you do it? He can do it, but maybe he'll get tired doing it. That's true. Yeah.
And we have Harden coming into this series with already an injury, this Achilles injury. That sounds maybe more severe than I had been led to believe at first. He only played 58 games. His usage rate is way down. I mean, it goes back to like his OKC days coming off the bench. So he has pressure too because it's James Harden, and we're always saying how he comes up short, but in a weird way. On one hand, he's injured already, but then on the other hand, there's no excuse for like, oh, James Harden's just exhausted.
Yep.
Carried his team to 60 wins in the regular season. Like, that's out the window. That's not going to be an excuse you can come up with. So him paired with Embiid, obviously there's some pressure on him, and Doc, as I said. Anyone else, stars-wise?
Stars-wise, and specifically for the first round, I think Jaren Jackson Jr. is under a lot of on-court pressure because I think he's got one of the hardest jobs of anybody coming into the first round because he's going to have to defend Anthony Davis, help on Anthony Davis when it's Xavier Tillman guarding him. He's going to have to be at the rim for every single drive from LeBron James. He's going to have to hit threes for the Grizzlies. And most importantly, he's going to have to not foul and rebound. Aggressive fouls are fine. Like, you challenge a shot at the rim, you run into him, that's what happens. Yeah. Like, that's how you play defense when you're a shot blocker like that. But, like, going over a guy's back for an offensive foul, stupid.
Yeah.
Setting a moving screen for Ja Morant, stupid. Those are the ones that take Jaren Jackson Jr. out of the game, out of the flow, and they don't really have bigs. They've got a reserve big starting in Tillman, and then they got Santi Aldama coming off the bench, who has been solid this season, but also a reserve big. They're down there 2 real centers, so I think Jackson has to have a huge series for Memphis because I assume Anthony Davis is going to go off in this playoff series against Memphis. He's been playing really great for the past couple of months since he returned from injury. He really turned it on in the second half against the Timberwolves. That was a huge part of the reason Karl Anthony Towns was in foul trouble. Davis just has a big-time impact almost all the time. Maybe not for 4 quarters, but for 2.5 to 3 quarters, which is usually enough for the Lakers. It's on Jaren Jackson Jr. to do the same for Memphis.
Jeff Zilgett of USA Today, he had a list of NBA stars facing the most playoff pressure. I wanted to present each name to you and tell me whether or not you agree with Jeff including them. Because I thought there were some names that made a lot of sense.
Jeff.
Joel Embiid, as we just talked about. And then others where I was like, really? You think they're facing pressure? Okay, Joel Embiid is on his list. Kawhi Leonard. I think Kawhi Leonard is facing playoff pressure.
Yes.
You do?
I think he is facing playoff pressure.
Okay, why?
I mean, this is year 4 of the experiment in Los Angeles, and they've gone to 1 conference finals, but it just feels like their window is closing.
Right.
And
yeah, I guess the counter is...
because there's no Paul George.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Well, there's more pressure on him. Or there's less because they're not expected to win, but there's more technically on him. He's got to shoot every fourth quarter shot. Feels like. They'll help him out, but yeah, it's all how you look at it.
Yeah, what do you think? Kawhi? Would you include him on a list is what I'm saying?
Yeah, I would include him on a list because I think he has a sizable load to carry. And that's an on-court pressure kind of thing more so than in anything with regards to Kawhi's like narrative as a player. I guess he hasn't played in the playoffs for a couple of years, being injured last season and going out of the playoffs back in 2021, but the guy was balling in that playoffs.
Yeah.
30 points per game, 57 from the field, 39 from 3. He's got to do that every single night, so that is pressure to go out and, be in finals MVP in every game.
Yeah, I guess I look at it like you said it. He's already got finals MVPs and championships, so it's not like the pressure of that. Like, Embiid hasn't even been in the second round, so that's gone. There's no Paul George, his running mate, so pressure down on that. It's just you. It's sort of like Jokic last year with his team. No one was like, oh, he's got to do it because he's dragging his team. And then the other thing is they're not even the favorites. They're the underdog completely in their series. Yeah. Not many people picking the Clippers to beat the Suns, who are, could go all the way.
But every number one has pressure in a way. I think that's decent pressure. He went and signed there. He hasn't won anything yet. I mean, that's why Harden pressure is non-existent to me. It's like he ain't a number one anymore. It's all on Embiid. But I think there's a decent amount of pressure on Kawhi.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if James Harden has a 2 for 15 game, 0 for 8 from 3, coughs the ball over a couple times, we're going to be leading shows with that.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Really?
It's all on Embiid. I mean, the legacy, his story has been written now, whether he wins one or not. Embiid's has not been written as far as the narrative goes.
Kevin Durant is on Jeff's list. Okay.
I buy it.
Okay.
I buy it.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, how much bus driver talk have we had in the past few seasons? Despite the fact that Devin Booker has been there for the longest time, that they went to the finals with Booker and Chris Paul. As soon as Kevin Durant got traded to the Suns, it became a Kevin Durant team, and people consider them a championship contender again because he's in the lineup. So I do think that there is pressure on KD to come out and look like KD. He was rusty for the first time ever when he came back from an injury, which we never see. He's going to be playing against the best teams he's played against so far this season with the Suns. But I also saw that due to his injuries and the trade, Kevin Durant is 25-2 since Thanksgiving. unbelievable.
Yeah.
So he'll probably lose more games in the playoffs
Yeah.
than he has in the past 4 months. So there's some pressure.
Okay, you agree. Katie's got it.
Sure. Their window isn't ginormous in Phoenix. So yeah, they have to come out and perform now. Yeah.
Jokic.
Of course.
Yeah, that no-brainer.
Yep.
And regardless of whether or not he obviously wins 3 MVPs in a row, which it doesn't look like is going to happen. That would be even worse. If he got the third
that's
in a row
even
and
more
goes
pressure.
out, yeah.
But just the fact that Murray's back and that Michael Porter Jr. is back and the team is whole, there's pressure on Jokic to
Yes.
actually win now.
Yeah.
Like, you can excuse the losses the past couple of seasons when they're rolling out there with Facundo Campazzo and Austin Rivers in the backcourt. Now you got a real team that played really well this season, gave it up at the end, basically, just to be ready for the playoffs. So, yeah, Jokic they're going to win the first round. Most likely. Second round will start to be a question, especially depending on who they end up playing against.
Yeah, and I'd even add on to that, even though he does have his guys back, air quotes, and Murray and Porter, there's still question marks with those guys. Like, Murray may not perform in fourth quarters. Porter could be played off the floor at times. And the storyline, the narrative is, he's got his guys back, so he should be performing. So there's just that idea that he's got to be awesome in all the time, and then he like on court he'll have to be awesome in fourth quarters if those guys don't perform. So he's battling narratives, he's battling on court issues. Yeah, they're not a lock. They are not a lock.
No, and the number 1 seed in the Western Conference, they completely took their foot off the gas at the end once they sort of had wrapped that up. They're like sort of limping into the playoffs, but is that because they just backed up, didn't want anyone to get injured and just be healthy, or was there something there and they look a little more beatable? We're going to find out soon. Another Grizzlies player, you said Jaren Jackson Jr. What about John Morant? Jeff has on his list. Pressure, obviously, the self-inflicted suspension from this season, and you want to sort of wipe that clean or get back. And they've, we went over it. They lose in the first round the first time they're really in there. Then they make it to the second round, and as a number 2 seed, they believe they could probably win this whole thing or at least get to a conference finals.
I do think his teammates like Dillon Brooks doing the talking kind of takes the pressure off a little bit. Like, Morant isn't in every single headline and conversation going into the playoffs, but on court pressure, he has to be awesome for this Memphis Grizzlies team because he has an advantage against a Lakers team where he can go inside and he can score. And the fourth quarter pressure is going to be big on him to create and to be a team that executes in the half court because that's where they're lacking. So, as far as putting pressure on himself as far as them executing, for sure. But because people aren't talking about him as much,
I know, this one was
so.
interesting.
Yeah.
He totally has. The Grizzlies in general, as we said yesterday, like really just overlooked in the conversation of like teams coming out of the West. And like you said, people picking the Lakers to upset them in a 2-7 matchup. But John Morant, I assume is going to be special here in some of these games. There's going to be highlights. He's going to have fourth quarter takeovers. But maybe not as much pressure as some of these other guys. Okay, Anthony Davis, Trae Young, Julius Randle. And then he included the Celtics duo of Tatum and Brown. Yeah, that one intrigued me. What's your take on that? Are they under a lot of pressure, the two Celtics guys?
I guess so. When you have the kind of success that they've had in their career, there's pressure to take the next step. Absolutely. The next step for the Celtics is a championship.
Yeah.
They had a lead in the finals last year, and they ended up giving it up to the Warriors. So, yeah, I suppose there's pressure, and there's always a little pressure on these guys, I feel like, because you look at Jaylen Brown and you think he could easily be the number one guy on another team. So there's always a little bit of media pressure of, are these guys ever going to split up? Are they ever going to go their separate ways? It's much like when a boy band has success. You're always wondering if the front man's going to go solo. Mm-hmm. They always do. And it's always a success. So we'll see if that does happen with the Celtics. But, the clock is ticking a little bit. Jaylen Brown may make All-NBA this year, which makes his contract much more expensive going forward. And it gets harder to build a team once you got two gigantic contracts in Tatum and Brown.
Really, Timberlake is the only guy to do it well, though.
Harry Styles?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true. He's otherworldly, that guy. He's something else. It's probably like a 25% hit rate, though. Like, Nick Lachey, get out of here. Boyz II Men didn't even try it.
Well, what about Beyonce?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, she brought a couple along. Kelly Rowland along to... She was nice. They were nice. She was nice. She was always a star. She was always a star, I'm saying. That's all.
Okay. All right.
She always had it in her.
That's true. Destiny's Child was a little bit of a Beyonce solo project.
Yeah.
Before the times.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, Wyclef deserves a little credit. Anyway, most like
Lauren Hill. That's
Lauren
another good
Hill, it's
one.
a great
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Donnie Wahlberg.
No.
No.
Jordan Knight.
What were you going to say?
No. Actually, that Jordan Knight song in the Carnival.
Oh, that's a good song.
Yeah, he had one good one.
Were you about to wrap up this segment here with an NBA point? I thought you were about to say something there.
Well, the Grizzlies, just to get back to them in general, they can look at 2 years ago. 2 years ago, the Phoenix Suns were the 2 seed and the Lakers were the 7 seed. And the Suns did it. And the Grizzlies should be able to feel comfortable with that. Like I know it's going to be an uphill battle, and everybody's taking the Lakers, and that side of the bracket's the easier one. But that's all I'll say. Like, it feels like the Grizzlies beating the Lakers is an upset now. With all the narrative.
That is weird that it feels like that.
But they're a damn good team. And yeah, the bigs is really, really important. What Xavier Tillman can do against Anthony Davis. But Morant's a superstar.
Yeah.
And I feel like we just talked about with the Zilgit list, it feels like his pressure has been reduced. So he just has to perform to his capabilities, and they should win, I think.
All right, final question here as we get ready for opening weekend. I need you to look into your crystal ball. And Tass, you said you had the number, so maybe you could break those down for us. Who is most likely to pull off a Game 1 upset?
Well, since the play-in tournament started, a 7 or 8 seed has won every single year in terms of a Game 1. So
At least one team.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, there's going back. There's days off, right? And I think that's the key here for all the 1 and 2 seeds that have to go play the 7 and 8 seeds who have been playing ball this week. So there's a little bit more freshness there.
Yep.
So I think that does play a factor, and maybe it does play a factor the last 3 years since the play-in tournament has been concocted. There's a team. Last year, the Wolves stole Game 1 from the Grizzlies. The year before that, the Grizzlies were actually the 8 seed. They stole Game 1 from the Jazz. And the year before that, the first year in the bubble, the Blazers stole Game 1 from the Lakers. 8-1 there.
Okay.
So that's
Okay. So you're saying it's probably going to happen again.
yeah. So I'm saying it's about the hit rate of a boy band lead guy taking off. 25% hit rate.
Yeah.
Because we have 4, 7 and 8 seeds, both conferences. Each year, one happens per year. So in 2023, will it be the Hawks beating the Celtics? Will it be the Lakers beating the Grizzlies? Or will it be one of the series that haven't been decided at this point, Bulls Heat beating the Bucks, or Thunder Wolves beating the Nuggets? I'll go out on a dirty limb that nobody wants to go out on, and I'll say
Dirty limb. It doesn't matter.
very nice.
I love that arm praise right there. Exactly. Wow.
Sick and tired of hearing all these people talk about.
Okay, go. Get on that limb, man.
Yeah. Listen, I think
He's
the sum
trying
of this. No, I'm not trying.
I thought you were
to
trying to think of
anything.
another lyric.
No,
Okay.
I think this NSYNC sum of their parts was better than Timberlake solo. And I'll say and Harry Styles. Harry Styles, great to bring up because I just think of his solo act. His solo act better than anything One Direction, All Directions, whatever they're called, ever did.
Big facts, Tess.
Big facts, right?
Yeah.
Harry's killing it. Got his jersey retired. We're going to talk about that later.
Yeah. He might play for the Knicks.
I don't know why, but this is a dumb one. But I'm taking the Hawks. I just think that they're not going to win the series. But the fact that they play basketball this week, I think that's a that's
and
a
they
factor.
played well. That's the huge
Yeah, of
part.
course,
that
of
was
course.
the
They're
best
deep.
they've looked. So
Yeah, and
can they replicate it?
The Jaylen Brown hand. Otherwise, it's difficult to really say. I mean, you can say the Lakers over the Grizzlies, sure, and then we don't even know who the other ones are. But I'll go the Hawks. I think one is going to happen this weekend.
Trey Kirby, who's most likely to pull off a Game 1 upset? It doesn't have to be the 7-8 seeds. I mean, I think any of the underdogs when it comes to seeding
Excellent.
are
I love
in
to
play.
hear that.
Yeah.
I love to hear that because I'm picking a 5 over a 4. The Clippers. I think there's a recipe for an upset here.
Oh, boy.
And it starts with 2 quick fouls on DeAndre Ayton.
Possible.
Certainly possible. Kawhi Leonard draws a ton of fouls. He lives at the line. Meanwhile, Phoenix is 30th in free throws per field goal attempt. They give up a ton of fouls. So imagine Ayton picks up 2 fouls. Suddenly you're rocking a Bismack Biyombo, a Jock Landale in there. That means Ivica Zubac. Run him wild on the glass. Also, Phoenix would lose their best screener and roller, which makes their offense struggle a little bit in the half-court setting. This is a team that has won 8 games with their starting lineup intact, but they haven't played anybody who is good. Like, the best team they played was the Nuggets. They sat 4 starters one game, 5 starters the next game. This will be a level up in competition for Phoenix. So if they lose their best interior defender and their best screener, it could get a little bit tough for the Suns. Then if the 3-point game tilts the Clippers' way, that's good. They've hit 16 or more threes 18 times this season, went 15-3. So they got to have a hot shooting night. They got to get to the free throw line, and they got to win the possession game, all of which I think they can do for one game and one game only. I don't know that I have the Clippers going very far in the series. I gave them 2 wins just because they're a really hot shooting team, a lot of variance, and Kawhi's awesome. So I wouldn't be surprised to see them pull an upset in game 1.
Like these picks. I think you've talked me into this idea of like the number 1 seeds in both conferences. They haven't played in a long time. Now, that's good. You rest up, obviously. They have, designs to go all the way to the championship. So it's going to be a long grind. The playoffs are like 2 months long, guys. But, as that little rust versus rest comes into play, I will then, because of this thinking, put me down for either the Thunder or the Wolves. I don't know who's winning tonight's game. Just like I didn't know who was going to win that Thunder-Pelicans game, which was very entertaining. But whoever wins that game tonight, I think is going to go into Denver. A team like we talked about who hasn't looked great over the last 20 games or so. And maybe it was by design. But they'll pull off the upset. And then it will be like, oh boy, God, here we go. So yeah, put me down for a wild number 8 seed, be it the Thunder or Wolves beating Denver in game 1. And then the Nuggets rallying to win the series. But I'll go with that. Let's hear from everybody out there. Everybody's pumped for the playoffs. We're so close to saying 40 games in 40 nights, but I'm going to save it.
Good idea. Man, it's crazy, though. I was getting so hyped for this weekend. We got 4 games Saturday, 4 games Sunday. And then you realize the first round is 2.5 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
That's weird, man.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, oh, man, they're going to be playing all the time right now. And then suddenly it's like you play on Sunday and then you play again Tuesday?
Well, sometimes Wednesday, I think, yeah.
That's a long rusty.
Yeah, it's a big gap. I had forgot. I tweeted this morning. I'm like, all right, we're going to be talking playoffs here on the Drop Podcast. We're going to be going all over these questions. And I'm like, there's 2 games on tonight.
Yeah.
We got a lot of basketball to watch this weekend. The 8 game ones, but we also have 2 pretty important games tonight, including Trey Kirby's Bulls there in Miami, and then, like we said, Thunder and Wolves. And those could be great games. I mean, at least entertaining games. Close games. So stock up on some energy.
I like the 8 seed coming. I think the West. If the Wolves win,
you like
I
that
like
one?
That pick.
Yeah, you like that
I
one.
like the Gobert Jokic. Why not? I'm feeling a little mini.
I saw Rudy Gobert said he was trying to be a superhero by playing in that game against the Pelicans.
He may not even play tonight, they're saying. Like that he's on the injured list. Yeah.
Get him a Theragun.
Yeah, okay. All right, we got to take our first break. When we come back, Tass has our worst of the week nominees. Don't go anywhere.
It's been a long time. Shouldn't have left you without a drink mix to step 2. Athletic Greens is back! If you're looking to get better gut health, more energy, or a stronger immune system in a really easy, natural way, you gotta check out Athletic Greens. Feels like just yesterday that Tass was telling us how much he hates swallowing horse pills because of his tiny throat. But with Athletic Greens, you can get rid of all that nonsense. Because with Athletic Greens, you'll actually enjoy getting your daily vitamins. With 1 delicious scoop of Athletic Greens, you're absorbing 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food sourced superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens to help you start your day right. This special blend of ingredients supports your gut health, your nervous system, your immune system, your energy, recovery, focus, and aging.
Nice.
It's lifestyle friendly, whether you eat gluten-free, keto, paleo, vegan, or dairy-free. AG1 is a small micro habit with big benefits. It's one thing you do every single day to take great care of yourself. Right now, it's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition. It's just 1 scoop in a cup of water every day. That's it. No need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your health. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/nodunks. Again, that's athleticgreens.com/nodunks to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance.
Indochino is a one-stop shop for looking and feeling good. A one-stop shop where you can get one look for all your events as well. That's how I like to do it, the lazy man's way of shopping. Indochino's looks, they're kind of like a five-tool athlete. One finely tuned, fully customizable outfit that's always ready to perform in any game or event. Ordered online, like I did, using their slick online platform. Wear it to your friend's wedding, like I did. Customize every detail on your suit, shirt, dinner jacket, and more in a range of colors from black or gray to burgundy or olive to a classic Hemsworth navy, like I did. I hemsed it. And if you have to wear a tuxedo first, I'm sorry someone is forcing you to do that. Or maybe you're forcing yourself. I don't know. Either way, why not buy one from Indochino? A custom tux you can own starting at $579. But create a suit for far less than that. A suit that fits you, that represents you, without a luxury price tag. RSVP knowing you've got the perfect look all wedding season long from Indochino. Go to Indochino.com and use code NODUNKS to get 10% off any purchase of $3.99 or more. That's INDOCHINO.com, promo code NODUNKS.
All right, back in the Classic Factory. If you're joining us live on YouTube, hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. It's nice to know we have nearly 3 times the amount of subscribers as Jordan Knight's Vivo YouTube channel. So thank you. That makes
It's
us
not a
feel better.
surprise, though. We drop classics every day.
Yeah,
He's got one classic.
that's right.
We should have thousands more. 1,000 times more subscribers.
That's a good point. It looks like he has 3 videos. He has a video posted 13 years ago and then 2 posted 11 years ago.
So pretty active. He's a regular.
Right, but hey, more subscribers here, baby. Okay, let's get to Worst of the Week.
Ladies and gentlemen, the worst of the week.
4 nominees this week. Now, a lot of you out there suggested basketball play from the Raptors missing free throws. Oh, okay. It's been discussed. Didn't want to do it again. Miami missing 1,000 bunnies in their game against the Atlanta Hawks. Good one. The Wolves-Lakers fourth quarter in that play-in tournament game was difficult to watch at times.
Yeah.
Great suggestions.
Anthony Edwards, I guess.
Sure.
Bad game.
Rudy Gobert throwing a punch. Also a great suggestion. But I'm not going to go with those just because we've talked about them plenty.
Okay.
All right. What's odd is I'm going with another Timberwolf from my first nominee here, Jaden McDaniels, because we didn't really talk about this a lot because it was overshadowed by Rudy Gobert punching his teammate and backpedaling as fast as he possibly could. But Jaden McDaniels punched a wall and broke his hand.
Yeah.
I'm giving him a nomination because he knows basketball arenas. He knows these curtains and these tunnels, they're not real. There are things behind them, and he shouldn't have taken that chance that curtain was a curtain. Now, we've all been frustrated. I know myself, hit a wall or 2 in my day. Unfortunately for him, that was a cement wall. It wasn't a dry wall. And so, by all reports, the first report that came out, John Krasinski threw it out there. I know we skimmed over it because we're talking about Rudy Gobert, but I need to throw Jaden McDaniels' young rookie mistake in there, breaking his hand, not going to be involved in this Timberwolves play-in game here against the Thunder, and just won't be in the playoffs at all. So just wanted to throw that in there because that's something he's going to have on his resume for a while, and he's awesome. So it stinks that they don't have him.
He's unfortunately now just added to the list of players that have done things like this, or they are pissed off, be it sort of on the court or leaving it, or maybe even their house or stuff like that. There's Blake Griffin. Did he break a hand doing something weird once?
Didn't he punch a trainer?
That sounds right.
Isn't that how he got hurt? Kevin Love got hurt doing knuckle push-ups.
That's what they
I remember
tell us.
once upon a time.
Yeah.
Amari
Stoudemire punching a fire extinguisher.
That's the
that
one
was
I was
after
really
a playoff
thinking of.
loss.
Yeah.
But you're right. Bad. I mean, it's just bad.
Yeah.
He kind of skated a little bit because his teammate punched another teammate, so it became the second most important punch. But Skeets, you mentioned it casually when we were talking about it first happening. You're like, yeah, Jalen McDaniels, he thought he was punching a curtain or something, accidentally punched a wall. I thought you were joking.
No, I was serious.
He
yeah.
really thought it was an accident. He was just punching a curtain, which is a hilarious thing to do if you're mad.
I think teams should maybe put like one of those big inflatable like clown blow up things right there at the tunnel for when a player like picks up text, gets tossed, needs to blow off some steam. Put it right there in front of them so they can just punch that.
It's a great
like
idea.
a bob. Just get a bob.
Yes.
Put it right there next to the bench.
Yeah. Or like, you know what? Better than punching what you thought was a curtain, but obviously had a wall behind it, or punching drywall, or punching, a fire extinguisher. Put stuff there that they can chuck. Because you either want to punch something or you want to throw something, right? Dirk, infamously, throwing a chair, I believe.
Threw a chair?
Yeah.
They framed it, basically.
Yeah, and like we've heard other people throw like garbage cans, and like so. Put either items there for them to chuck, or like you're saying, the something like a bob as
a boxing dummy. We've got one here in the garage here.
That's smart.
Yeah, you have a terrible take, you just walk off the show, jack it in the face, and you're good to go for the next one.
Exactly.
Yeah, or what are those anger rooms where you go in there and break stuff?
Yeah.
Like you pay. Like you could have one in each stadium.
Yeah.
Just have like a small one, like a glass one that we can watch a player go into it as rage.
So cool. I guess
a glass case of emotion.
Like DeRozan tore the towel in half, right?
Yeah.
Like that's a safe way to do it.
That's great.
But yeah, they should have anger management tools at the end of the bench. Maybe put like one of those like punching apparatuses. You punch it, see how hard you punched.
Yes.
Like who was the most mad that game?
Right.
I guess Jaden McDaniels.
Yeah.
Jaden
McDaniels. Yeah, a great reminder of the Blake Griffin punching his trainer. The headlines are Blake Griffin pushes trainer's head near groin. Oh, there was that
Yes,
incident
there
too.
was.
That was Matthias Testy. That was his name.
I remember you saying that a lot.
The fitting name of yes.
Yeah.
And a great tie-in to our second nominee, head coach Doc Rivers. Now Sixers head
Cock
coach
Rivers?
Doc Rivers. No,
Dick Rivers.
very nice. He was on ESPN's NBA Today, and Malika Andrews asked him this question, a very good leading question, because it got a great answer from Doc. She asked, "Hey Doc, you've coached stars before. Some have won, some have lost. Your Celtics won, your Clippers lost. Which team is this Sixers team more like?" And he took the bait, baby.
Oh, man.
He was happy to jump out there and say, "Well, listen, that Clippers team, they didn't like each other. That they were never gonna win." Right.
Yeah.
What? This is what? First, you shouldn't have. Why? Why would you? He didn't need to. He absolutely went there on his own, and this is years later now. I mean, he's talked about this team many, many times. He's never gone that far. Right. We all know
he's
that
alluded
they didn't
to
like
it,
each
sort of, but you're right.
Yeah, well, the players have alluded to it.
Yeah.
I know Zach Lowe has had a bunch of players on his pod, on the Low Post, talking about a bunch of the former Clippers talking about it. Of course they didn't like each other, but you don't need to like each other to win. Respect, maybe. Did Michael love Scotty? No. Did anybody love Michael? No. But they won.
Right.
It's happened throughout history.
Yeah.
JJ Redick, who was on those teams, retweeted it with, "This is what dreams are made of."
Yeah.
I mean, he really just threw an old team just under the bus for absolutely no reason.
He's an old man. He doesn't give a shit. Once you get old, you don't care.
Yes, but it's tied into, was that the reason? I mean, it's tied into Doc not really taking a lot of ownership, accountability
right.
for his team.
I'm sure it played a part, but it's not the only reason. You're right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that why the Rockets had that comeback in Game 7 against the Clippers where they bombed away on them with Josh Smith and Corey Brewer? Nah. In that second round series, it's not because they didn't like each other. I understand what he's saying, that this team here with the Sixers was more willing to sacrifice. The Celtics were more willing to sacrifice than the Clippers team because they didn't like each other. I suppose that was his what he got to when he furthered that answer with Malika Andrews, when he talked about his team. And he also just said, it's got to be the right time. Guys have to be willing to sacrifice in that season, in that playoff run. Then just talk about your team. You don't have to throw a bunch of the others under the bus and not take account for it. Maybe they didn't like each other. Chris Paul, DeAndre Ayton? I mean, sorry, DeAndre Ayton. No, of course. Yeah, of course they didn't like each other.
Maybe this is just some slick guerrilla marketing here from Doc. Isn't this new Clipper series coming? The Sterling affair? It's got to be right around the corner. Yeah. Lawrence Fishburne playing Doc Rivers.
Yeah.
So just sort of like, getting us thinking about that team, that era, and like we're
good,
more
yeah.
likely to tune in.
We just talked about Blake Griffin and the whole scenario over there.
Yeah, maybe they didn't like each other because Blake Griffin was like bullying all the traders.
You'd be Matthias
Jesus.
Testy too.
Yeah,
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
that's good.
Nice. Okay, third nominee. I don't like doing this. But Raptors superfan Nav Bhatia. For the play-in game, Nav welcomed DeMar DeRozan's wife and child to sit next to him, to hang out. And we all know what happened with DeAr DeRozan.
Oh, that's where they were sitting.
Yes.
I didn't really realize that.
Beside Nav Bhatia.
Nav.
Superfan. And DeAr DeRozan, DeMar's daughter, as we all know, played great free throw line defense and forced the Raptors to shoot 18 from 36 from the line with her screams. So Nav welcomed in his family, as he called it, as he tweeted about it. So it's kind of hard to be mad at him at the same time. They're not family anymore. They're the family that you don't visit. That's what they are, Nav. You can't have them. You can't have them over at the baseline. You affected the game. So unfortunately, Nav, our guy, the greatest, and you could see the love there from the fam. He is always beloved by opponents, players, and teammates, and even families, but not today.
Remember, we were wondering, had any Raptors players actually addressed the DeRozan's daughter screaming, DR? And we hadn't yet had heard from anyone.
No.
But soon after we wrapped up the show, we got Scotty Barnes saying, well, we went 18 for 36. It had to have an effect. So Scotty admits that DeMar's daughter yelling shook him enough, at least on a couple free throws. So at least he's honest.
What are they going to do tonight, though, is the question. I saw United Airlines offered to fly DR out to the game. Oh, wow. I personally don't think it's a matter of cost.
Yeah, probably not.
to afford one extra flight down to South Beach. They did say Levine and DeRozan were on ESPN yesterday saying she might get a hall pass for Friday.
Oh, wow.
At the very least, there's either going to be like a Miami Heat kid there screaming, or they're going to go out of their way if DR shows up to show her and be like, we can't have any more screaming tonight. Well, that feels like screaming is going to become a storyline for tonight already.
Oh, wow. You think so?
How could it not be?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it would be like, we saw a lot of Raptors fans saying this, maybe casuals, whatever. Like, why didn't they remove her? Why didn't they remove DeAr DeRozan? Which is an insane
I'm
take.
glad you brought that up because that is the dumbest.
I know, but you saw it.
Because of course I heard it. We can poke fun at Nav, but that is the dumbest thing.
Yeah.
To quiet fans. Now we want to quiet fans.
I know.
Are you kidding?
But the element, of course, of DeRozan and his family is they're in Toronto, right? There's this inviting them, to sit with them, right? Little different if it's just in Miami. It's not like the Miami Heat and the organization or their fans. Why would they care about DeMar DeRozan and whether his family is treated, well? You want to treat them with respect, but if there's yelling happening if she's there, I think it's going to be handled differently is what I'm saying. I don't know how you handle telling a kid not to scream during a free throw, but it will probably happen.
Are you trying to quiet DeAr DeRozan?
I mean, I bet you the Heat will try.
There's actually a couple of good suggestions here in the stream team. Paul says that Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan's kids are going to have a scream off.
Oh my God.
They probably know each other from like preschool back in the day. Just sit next to each other, screaming in each other's faces. I would love to see that. Erwin Orosio says that Box Out Kid is going to show up for the Heat. That's how they shut it down.
That's Box Out
He
Man
boxes
now.
around. Oh yeah, he's a man. I follow him on the gram. He's a man, baby.
That's a callback. Callback for the person who boxed out Skeets during a media day. You know what? Another way of going about it is get your home fans to cheer while you're at the free throw line.
Facts.
Just get it over with.
This is the Raptors.
Otherwise,
this
it was a dead arena and you could hear her.
Yeah.
But if you had fans cheering.
But Herbie's his whole thing. Herbie, who is the PA announcer for the Raptors, he has always, for as long as I can remember, does the Pascal Siakam at the line, shooting two, right?
He did. He
And
started.
It's like, why are we getting quiet? We don't need to be super quiet. And then you can hear a piercing scream from a 10-year-old.
I think that goes back to the old Toronto days when Toronto fans didn't know what to do. Toronto fans didn't know how to watch basketball. It's
They didn't
true.
know how to clap.
They didn't know when to cheer. And I listened. I was there. I was there when the newspapers came out in 1995. This is how you cheer for a basketball team. These are the rules.
You're embellishing a little bit, but yeah.
These are the rules.
The rules, yes.
The rules, yeah.
Yeah.
So when the I don't know if Herbie Kuhn has been there since day one.
I think he has.
I would imagine he has.
I think he has.
But he was probably there in game one in the Sky Dome saying, Carlos Rogers, shooting two. Because you're supposed to be quiet, everybody. Although, you know what? Carlos Rogers' free throw percentage is pretty bad, as we learned yesterday.
Yeah, brutal. 55%.
Just cheer. That might help. Anyway, Nav, you're the man as a play-in tournament. I take it back. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Not during, it's the play-in tournament. And that's why maybe DeMar doesn't bring DR. Because he's got bigger aspirations than a play-in tournament. He's going to fly his daughter all over the world, all over the place.
Could be the last game of the season.
It could be, yeah.
Kuhn served as the arena voice of the Raptors since team's inception, 1995. There you go.
If we're talking about old Raptors, let's throw in, I think Vince Carter should be on the flight with DeAr DeRozan. Vince Carter? What?
Why?
Well, DeAr DeRozan, I think, is going to school today. And then, if she comes, is also going to fly to the game. She's got a double dip here, double duty, double shift, school, and getting to the game. Now, Vince Carter, in 2001, Game 7 against Philadelphia 76ers, he graduated.
Yes.
He graduated and then flew the Raptors plane to Philadelphia in order to lose to the Philadelphia 76ers.
Earlier start time, I believe, in that playoff game, though. That wasn't a night game. I think it was an afternoon game.
It was an afternoon.
I think so.
Yeah. I think that's one of those Mandelas that we always
I'm going to
forget.
check, though.
Let's B-ref that. While you B-ref that, basketball reference. Our last nominee, we talked about family with Nav Bhatia, bringing in his family. This is our family. Jerome Cheng. Our Jerome is the fourth nominee here on Worst of the Week because during our playback while we were watching the game, Bulls, Raps, Jerome came on, joined us from Jurassic Park, and I'll tell you why he's the worst in a second, but let's see the clip of Jerome joining us.
Oh, snap.
Are we live from Jurassic Park?
Live Romy Rome?
Yes.
How we get hitting it?
Yes. And then we were all saying, no, because Jerome came on, a 17-point lead dwindled to 12 points. It's Jerome's fault. The Raps lost.
Wow.
Actually, he was on with us from Jurassic Park, and he was basically saying this is going to be horrible if they lose this game. Well, he was on for 1 minute of gameplay.
I know. We were like, get off, man.
From the 7-minute mark, essentially, of the third quarter to the 6-minute mark, and Jurassic Park was going crazy at the time, and he was saying, oh, God, this is going to be bad. But listen, we do things fair here in the studio. We have Jerome to defend himself.
Oh, my
Hey, Jerome,
God.
what's going on?
Well, this classic now is going to tank. Can't hear you, Jerome.
Yeah.
I knew this would happen.
Yeah.
Let's try one more
Wait,
time.
how
There
did
he
this
is.
There he is.
There we are.
We got
it's
it.
always your own people.
Yeah. Sorry, man. But you're
everyone.
you're saying during your hit from Jurassic Park, we're excited.
I did.
And you're saying, oh, gosh, this would be bad if we
Not
lose because
only
everybody was
did
so
I say
high
that
at that
to
time.
you,
Yep.
I said it to everyone that I saw there. I said it to my friend. It looked like it's an obvious win. I said it to people working at Jurassic Park, telling them, hey, it looks like this is in the bag.
Oh, boy.
And everyone told me, stop this. You're jinxing this. Don't do this. And you know what? For me personally, this is the world I want to live in, where I actually believe the Raptors can hold a lead.
Yeah.
I want to believe. I've seen the Vince Carter shot. I've seen us lose to Brooklyn in Game 7. I've seen us get swept by the Washington Wizards. I've seen LeBronto. Yeah. I've seen DeAr DeRozan give us the second worst free throw shooting performance in the playoffs. Nothing can hurt me as a Raptors fan. I might as well believe that they are capable of doing things than live in a paranoid life that I can't enjoy a lead.
It's well said.
You are Teflon. I hear you, man. I hear you. That was a blast, obviously, being on playback and getting you in. We were extremely as excited as you heard there. We'll be doing playbacks throughout the postseason, so join us. It's easy. Just come on.
It's actually a funny story around the DR DeRozan thing. I was roaming around. We saw the short interviewing fans, talking to them about how things are going. And then one fan came up to me thinking like I worked there, like I worked the actual Jurassic Park, and was like, "Who's screaming on the mic?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about? I don't understand. I don't hear it clearly enough in Jurassic Park."
Right.
Like, no, someone's screaming on the mic every couple of seconds. Can you check in the back to see who's screaming on the mic? And I'm like, in my opinion, I'm like, "You are hearing things, sir." And then it wasn't until afterward, and I found out someone was really screaming on the mic, and it was DR DeRozan. And it was amazing.
That is how it happened during the game, because it was like our WhatsApp messages were like, "Who's screaming?"
Yeah, fans were hearing it before the broadcast picked it up.
Oh,
Yeah, it was like, that's weird. It was like a girl screaming every time the Raptors were at the line, and then it didn't take long to figure out who it was, I guess.
Yeah, it more from woman, it felt like.
Yeah.
And then it got younger and younger, and then there was a child screaming. And I like Trey's idea here on Friday. We could have a Lowry child versus DeMar child in Miami. Scream off.
Yeah. And well, here's the other thing. I don't think we're going to be on playback tonight, but we do need to test the Jerome jinx factor of it all. Like, once there's another big lead in one of these playoff games, Jerome's got to jump on and see what happens. And
I just don't know how I have power over a history of Raptors playoff basketball.
Hey, man. Look, you're wearing a Raptors shirt.
Is that
I am. Raps
Okay, there you go.
Shout out Legends League.
Yeah, we'll test it. I mean, I love the whole part of this, too. Like, we're bummed. This guy's ecstatic. He's like, yeah, Jerome, jump on live.
Yeah,
in
best of the week, if you ask me.
Yeah.
DeMar DeRozan
you know
went
what?
into this game and said, "I could never be a villain in Toronto." That's what his quote was. Then his daughter screamed through the whole game. The Raptors missed half their free throws and lost because of it. And people think it's hilarious.
Yeah.
He called his shot completely.
Yeah.
Any last words, Jerome, before we let you go get ready for your next villainous performance?
0 predictions for the rest of the playoffs is my plan. I'm just going to enjoy it moving forward. I'm actually kind of sad. I was trying to convince, or I was thinking about convincing people to just yell "Raps in 1" at Jurassic Park, but it wouldn't have turned out well considering how the actual result was. But yeah, no. Let's enjoy the playoffs. We love obviously the Raptors getting to compete, but it is very stress-free to get to watch the playoffs without your home team.
It's very true. The games are a lot easier to digest. Everybody go check out Jerome's short where he was in Jurassic Park talking to Raptors fans. Hey, what's one word to describe the Raptors season? My favorite thing about that short, Jerome, is you can tell when you're talking to the people, because sometimes maybe prior to the game, early in the game when they had the lead, there's a lot more positivity from people in wrapping up the Raptors season, and it got a little worse.
It fell apart very late.
Yeah,
so I could have talked to people up to like the last couple of minutes, and they'd be like, "Yeah, what a season!
Fulfilling, epic,
fulfilling."
It's like, what? Really?
I want to thank you. I want to thank you for going down. I want to thank you for coming on here, and I just want to thank you for ending the Raptor season and our misery. I think it's great. Like Trey said, best of the week for everybody here. We were gonna go get hammered by the Celtics. This is great. Yeah, that's great.
Okay, thank you. But,
anything I can do.
Yeah, Jerome, thanks so much, man. We're going to take final break. When we come back, we've got Tweet of the Night and Rapid Fire Fun. Don't go anywhere. When it comes to saving money as a small business owner, every little bit helps. And no dunks, we speak from experience, because we're a small business, a small classic business. And while we don't have to ship a lot, when we do, we turn to ShipStation, because it gives us access to discounts of up to 84% off USPS and UPS rates. That's more money for mics, lights, and that fantastic poo-pourri toilet spray. TMI? Please. One bathroom here in the factory for a bunch of dudes? ShipStation helps benefit our shit station. That's a win-win. The best thing about ShipStation is all of your shipping is handled in a single dashboard. They effortlessly integrate everywhere you sell online, including Amazon, Etsy, eBay, Shopify, and more. You manage every order from one simple dashboard, automate routine shipping tasks, print shipping labels, and easily compare rates and delivery times to optimize every shipment. ShipStation, more efficient than the Joker, baby. And with enterprise solutions that make warehouse optimization easy, ShipStation scales when you do. So worry less about the bottom line when you save money with ShipStation. Go to ShipStation.com and use the code NODUNKS today to sign up for your free 60-day trial. 60 days. That's ShipStation.com, code NODUNKS. All right, let's jump right into it. Time for Tweet of the Night.
Tweet of the night. Wow.
Twitter.
Well, I know what you're thinking, Tasmelis. There's no way we're talking about Spencer Dinwiddie and Kyle Kuzma anymore.
No.
Kuzma's season, it's over. Dinwiddie, he's getting ready for the playoffs. They got bigger things on their mind.
Absolutely.
Getting a bag, getting a ring. Au contraire, mon frere. We're talking about Kyle Kuzma versus Spencer Dinwiddie again. Because Spencer Dinwiddie was asked about Kyle Kuzma's comments with regards to him. He had some funny lines as well. Spencer Dinwiddie basically laid out his case for himself as a basketball player. A bunch of max players were hurt. He scored 20 a game and took his team to the playoffs. Went to the Western Conference Finals with Luka Doncic. He also said he's made the playoffs every year of his career. That was a surprise to me.
Oh, wow.
Pretty cool. Or at least like the last 5 or 6. But the thing that really got in the news was the last thing that Spencer Dinwiddie said. He said, some people are blessed to be in situations. We don't get mad at Rick Fox for winning a championship with Kobe and Shaq. Some people are blessed. But we can't act like Rick Fox led them to a championship. Oof. I don't think anybody's thinking that.
No, I know.
We do not get mad at Rick Fox for that. But why are we talking about Rick Fox? Rick Fox heard about it. Oh, Rick Fox has his ear to the ground. So Rick Fox is your tweet of the night from @RickFox, who says, hello, Spencer Dinwiddie. # nice to meet you. Thanks for the introduction, Clutch Point Zap.
Jesus Christ.
Why did Clutch Point? Okay, whatever.
Yeah, very solid.
Definitely, like, Clutch Points had to have done some kind of a post that copied both Spencer and Rick.
Some aggregation.
Yeah.
This is a photo
I think.
of the 3 captains that @Phil Jackson chose to lead his @Lakers team to back-to-back-to-back championships. Who is @Rick Fox? I am! # the other. # the enforcer. Keys. # defense wins championships.
I was so confused by that last
Very
one.
weird, man. Very, very weird. Weird to bring Rick Fox into it. Weird that this is a week-long beef between 2 role players, 2 solid role players, 2 X factors, if you will. But yeah, Rick Fox wading into a mid-card beef in the NBA. And honestly, looking great in the picture. He picked a great photo. Kobe, Shaq, and then Rick styling on him, all holding Larry O'Brien trophies.
Rick
I
Fox,
also didn't
man.
realize he was the captain.
Yeah.
Alongside those 2 back in the
Three-time
day.
champ, obviously.
Yeah.
And he played his part. Lakers fans love Rick Fox.
Yeah,
As you should. I mean, he was an instrumental part to them winning 3 in a row. He did not lead them. Yes, Spencer Dinwiddie. Shaq and Kobe definitely ahead of Rick Fox in the pecking order, but it takes 8, 9, 10 guys to win these things.
Yeah, the boxing match was between Spencer Dinwiddie and Kuzma, and suddenly you jumped over the rope and threw a stray at Rick Fox for some reason. I don't understand why, because in that implication, he's basically saying, like, I'm a third best player, or like I'm definitely a role player. Like, why insert a role player, Rick Fox, being a supporting player, into the conversation? Because then his whole argument was, I'm better than a role player. I'm a star. That was Spencer Dinwiddie was, and Rick Fox has won championships as a role player. Spencer Dinwiddie has not won championships as a pseudo star. So then it's just.
But isn't Dinwiddie talking about Kuz?
Yeah.
He's saying, "Hey man, you got your chip, okay?"
Well, I can't follow this aggregation.
He's calling he's calling him the Rick Fox of the 2020 Lakers, basically, right?
Oh, that's a
It's a
compliment.
great compliment.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think Spencer Dinwiddie probably underestimated the affection people have for Rick Fox.
That's what he did. Yeah.
Which honestly, I think maybe I did as well, because once this came out, you can see like the quote tweets, the responses. People are like, Rick Fox would be $100 million player today.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
A 3-and-D player, maybe so. But yeah, Rick Fox is now in the mix. Make sure you watch Party Down. Great show.
Yeah, I wonder what Rick Fox thinks about the prices of eggs. Right?
Well, he thinks they're too high. Everyone does.
Yeah. He thought they were too high when they were pretty cheap. Because that guy loves eggs. Everybody knows that.
He calls himself at Rick Fox.
Okay,
Who is
so
that Rick
here's
Fox?
the real
Not you.
question. Who, like, I don't think Dinwiddie, like, I obviously get his point here. He's like saying, Kuzma, you didn't really do shit, okay?
Yeah.
You're in the right situation, blessed. You did a small part, you got chipped because of LeBron and AD. Who should he have picked, though, instead of Rick Fox from those back-to-back-to-back, Lakers championship teams that maybe, like, would be a better dig at Kuzma? Like, as we're learning here, as we knew, Rick Fox, he's the captain. He's too important to them. You need to pick someone way worse.
Mark Madsen.
That'd be funny.
Slava Medvedenko. Oh, Jordan Farmer? Jordan Farmer? I mean, those are later titles.
Yeah, that's true. How many did Devin George? He won 3.
Yeah, Devin George, one of the great trade shutdowns of all time. That's what I'll always remember him for.
Oh,
being
man.
a D3 player.
What a mistake. That's just a mistake. Because, to me, where my mind went, he should try and emulate Rick Fox. I mean, that would be awesome if he could be a third player on a team. That would be awesome. Like, you'll go look at Rick Fox's stats, and I've heard Rick Fox talk with their man Lang before. He used to say, I mean, I could get mine. He was a 15-point per game guy with the Celtics before he joined the Lakers. He could get his. Then he's joined up. They won. Spencer and Kuz, that's awesome that they did that. And Kuz, that would be great for him if he could do that again, but he's going to sign with the Wizards, and it's probably not going to happen there. But he's going to score 20. They've got 3 20-point scores. Anyway, at Rick Fox, always a great follow. Echo Fox, is his E-games?
He sold it. He sold it.
Did he?
I don't know if they're still called Echo Fox, though. That'd be awkward. Echo Spencer. Echo Dinwiddie.
Okay, let's start wrapping up this Drop podcast with some rapid fire fun. JD's got the questions, we got the answers. Let's do it.
Yeah, guys, we just did about 25 minutes on DeRozan's daughter throwing off the Raptors, screaming every time they attempted a free throw. What's something that would throw your game off, sports or otherwise? Skeets.
Rain when it comes to running. And I say that because the Boston Marathon Monday morning weather forecasts not looking good.
Uh-oh.
Looking like some rain, and on top of that, cold rain.
Oh, jeez.
Now, my buddy Jared, who I'll be running with, he loves the rain. Some people do. Obviously, it's a lot cooler.
Yeah.
I hate it. I can't stand wet shoes. Can't stand them. They're sloshing around, dodging puddles.
Yeah.
Nips getting all chafed. Obviously, I'll have some either tape on those nips.
Great.
You should try.
Like
what about
I'm Janet Jackson.
Nora's new Bombas bra?
Yeah, I could try
I wanna
that.
try
But I hate it. And then there's people like, oh, well, you'd rather this than the heat. No, I wouldn't. I love the heat.
Really? Wow.
I'm an Atlanta boy, baby.
Yeah, but are you?
Well, I've been here a decade. I run outside all the time. Yes.
Yeah, but you get soaking in sweat.
I don't care.
Yeah.
You'd rather
I
be wet with sweat.
Oh, my God. I prefer running in really warm, hot weather.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people don't. They prefer the rain, but not me. I hate the rain. So we'll see. Some people are saying, don't worry, Skeets. It's going to rain later in the day. You'll be fine at 10 a.m. We'll find out.
Is it rain or shine?
Hell yeah, it is.
Yeah.
How much rain?
I think maybe
there
they
a
do
level?
something with like lightning and thunderstorms.
sure.
They probably delay.
Sure.
I'm pretty sure. But rain, yeah, you're running in rain and cold.
We'll be watching.
Yeah, well, good luck with that.
Thanks, man.
It's Monday, 10 a.m. you said?
Yeah.
Oh, while we're live streaming, while we're doing our show.
Yeah, you can track. I'll give you guys the bib number.
Sure.
And then you can put it up. You can see my little thing moving.
Put your phone on a selfie
like that.
stick and just run with it.
Oh, you want me to-
Just,
oh, you want me
we'll
to-
have you in the corner. Just,
You want me to chime in live?
yeah, why
I'll
not?
have my phone.
Let's give it a try. Why not?
Get around with your phone.
I'll have it in my back pocket. Yeah.
Extra weight.
I need all the weight I can get.
It helps though the momentum. Can we watch that on playback? JK.
Hold
Don't
on.
bring
I think it's
Jerome on
possible.
while I'm running. I'll probably be winning the marathon. He's gonna come on. Oh, Skeets is gonna win the Boston Marathon. Just kidding, Jerome.
All right, Tassie, what's something that would throw your game off?
Well, speaking of, as you just said there, Skeets, mine is using the restroom before exercising. If I don't, I just get gurgly And this was never a problem growing up. I always used to play volleyball with a guy named Bill Schudlow that would always use the restroom before we played.
Yeah.
And I thought, that's weird. It's 20 years later. That's me.
You're doing it?
That's me. And it feels great. Thanks, Bill, for the suggestion. So, yeah, it really throws me off. I don't run as fast. I don't use my phone to use, or don't carry my phone to, because I don't want any weight. I don't want any weight.
Yeah, you don't want any weight going to the washroom.
That's right. Exactly. Empty, please. I'm an excavator.
Trey, what throws your game off?
Well, it's not going to be throwing my game off very much longer because mine is chafed nipples. Well, I played last night. I played this morning.
What, hoops?
Halfway through the game today, it was like my nipples were just on fire. So in between every game, like pull my shirt up, just air them out. But I'll never tape my nipples before playing.
No, you should. I don't tape my nipples. I use the like it's almost like a stick, almost like a glue stick.
Yeah.
Or like Vaseline almost. That's what you should do.
That's
okay.
awesome.
All right,
Yeah, it
which
does
leads me
work.
to my second question. Yeah. Doesn't that stain your shirts?
No, the one I use doesn't, so I'll get you hooked up with the one I got, the stick I got.
Okay, I thought you were going to say the shirt.
Why will you never tape your nipples? I don't understand. Just out of principle?
Yes.
You guys always doing
I'm not soft,
brownies.
JD. Why would I tape my nipples? Because they hurt?
Yeah.
Ridiculous. I would rather be bleeding from the nipples than put a single piece of tape on them. Wow. Crazy.
Pride is a weird thing.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Well, his whole thing is he does brownies to people on the court, so that's not going to work.
It's true. It's true. They're readies right now.
I'm looking for the stick I purchased to suggest to you. I got it from it's the basic one. The Paul Flannery suggested it.
Right.
Our running friend.
He'd know.
He knows.
Yeah, I can't.
He runs ultras. I can't find it, but
Okay.
It's weird. It's magical.
It is. It works really well.
Okay.
You need it.
I believe it. Or just shirts and skins.
Or just
so wear a shirt.
Always skins.
But have you always
All-time skins.
But have you always you've never had this problem before?
I think what happened is my chest got leaner, so my nipples got bigger. Chest stayed the same size.
Wow.
Nipples got bigger. Wait, no. Nipples stay the same size. They look bigger.
Nobody
They stick
plays
out more.
Protrusion.
nobody plays shirts and skins.
Very
anymore.
rare. Very, very rare.
Yeah, very rare.
But now I get it. It's people that don't want to tape their nipples but don't want to have chafed nipples.
Right.
But then they came out with the sticks and everybody said, all right, bring a reversible jersey.
Yeah. There is that.
Interesting.
Kids
Okay.
these days are soft.
Next one.
Taping their nipples.
Guys, an eagle-eyed Tasmalis noticed this week that Harry Styles' number is retired at MSG. Usually he's scanning the crowd for people he knows, but I guess he was looking up.
Wow, you can barely see that banner in this
see it.
photo.
Crazy,
Holy
man.
crap, you gotta really
there.
squint. It's in the back.
Harry Styles, number 15.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a Donovan Mitchell dunk. It was a Getty image used on The Athletic, and it was easy to see
Yeah,
on The Athletic.
right. I was a little surprised to hear that he had his number retired, but Bon Jovi has a banner.
Can I just clarify? It's not actually Harry Styles' favorite number that is retired. I assume Bon Jovi, it has something to do with selling out Madison Square Garden, right?
I know.
Okay, okay.
Just it's a number. What's
It's a low number.
Make
It's
it
15.
sound like it's Harry's
pretty
number.
low.
Why is it? It's beside Billy Joel. That's
But it
131.
It may have been 15 straight nights or something. Like
Right.
that. No?
I think Harry signed. So
I don't know.
Maybe.
You're right. Otherwise, 15 is not really that impressive.
It's his number that's retired in the jersey.
What do you keep saying Harry's like that?
He didn't play for him.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Well, why is there a number there?
Because I'm saying
Yeah,
it
it's
obviously
associated
means
with
something.
something.
Well, now it's his number. That's what I'm saying. I know it means something, but
Okay.
it's definitely his number, and it's hanging.
We're trying to
in the
determine whether or not that number should mean anything, though.
That number is literally retired twice for the Knicks.
Interesting.
Dick McGuire and Earl Monroe, they both wore 15, and Harry Styles.
What does the 15 mean, though?
Maybe they picked
15 nights at MSG. I called it.
Okay.
15 consecutive nights. There you go.
Good for you, Harry.
Monumental.
Yeah, and Bon Jovi, like I said, has one hanging at the Scotiabank Arena. So
This dude sold out MSG 15 straight night.
didn't Billy Joel do 30?
Well, did you see his number up there?
I well,
Yeah.
It's right
it
beside
was
it.
in
It's
the-
131. The number is.
That
anyway.
must mean how many times, right?
Yeah.
He's played.
Yeah, probably.
Not 131 straight nights.
No, probably not.
Okay, here's the question. Who's another artist that should have their number retired, and where should they hang it, Skeets?
Okay, well, I can't. I'm shocked that Drake doesn't have something hanging in Toronto.
You want quick trivia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are 5 other retired, banners
Artists.
in Scotiabank.
Oh, in Scotiabank.
Scotiabank. There are 5.
Okay, Bon Jovi.
Plus Bon Jovi. So there's 5 in addition.
Holy crap!
So 5 musical artists.
There's 5 artists. I'm not gonna. There's 2 non-musical artists and
Russell Peters.
Russell Peters.
What a
Nailed
freaking
it.
call!
Kiss.
What a call. No,
Rush.
bigger.
I think I saw Russell Peters.
Nickelback.
No.
That's
I guess they don't have to
Tragically Hip.
specifically be
The
Canadian.
Tragically Hip.
Let's
Skeets,
go.
You're on fire.
Let's go.
Okay, now those are the last Canadians.
Oh,
2 more musical acts, and then basically an institution.
2 more music.
Rolling Stones.
Nope.
They've been around a long time.
British. Not Irish, specifically Irish.
U2.
U2, yeah.
Good one.
The
Gotta do it.
the original diva, not original diva, but
Whitney Houston.
Madonna?
No,
Madonna, yeah.
okay.
And this is a channel. It's all the time.
Oprah?
See, a Canadian one?
No. It's
a channel?
It's an
Magnolia
institution.
Network?
It's a sports entertainment. It's sports entertainment. It's
ESPN?
hugely popular.
WWE.
TSN.
WWE. You got it.
They just retired the whole promotion.
Yeah.
They sold out some
respect.
stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Great.
but
Yeah.
that SummerSlam 5 or 6 was in the sky though, so that's interesting.
Interesting.
Anyway.
Skeets, what's your answer?
Oh yeah, so Drake.
Drake.
I mean, but I'm amazed it's not already a thing, and I don't know how many times he's performed there, but more like I think they should have something on Drake's seat, where we had Charles Oakley sitting in the other night. It should have like a counter on it of how many times Drake actually sits in his courtside seat, and it like ticks up every time he sits and takes in a game.
Yeah, that's nice.
I get like
Do you mean like during a game as well? Because he stands up a lot.
no, just when he's there, attends a game. I can see it now. His seat, it's got the OVO OWL logo, and then the number in it of how many times he's actually had his little ass in that seat. Hey, you want to speak? To bring it full circle, I once showed my nipples to Drake. I got on your shoulders at a weekend, the first ever
he was
weekend
there.
performance, and Drake was up in the balcony.
Oh, yeah.
And chicks were doing it.
Yeah.
And so we thought it'd be funny if we like got his attention and I flashed him my nipples. True story.
Showstopper.
Yeah, exactly. He seemed to smile.
Were they taped?
They weren't.
Oh,
No, it wasn't raining that night.
great stuff. Yeah, speaking of Charles Oakley sitting in Drake's seat during the playing game, he was wearing an OVO owl jacket. I wonder if that's part of the requirement, part of the deal. You get to sit in the seat, you wear an owl.
It's draped on the chair. You have to put it on in that chair. Tassie.
Well, it's funny you bring up the weekend. I'm going to throw the weekend up there because Canada has claimed Drake plenty, but as an extension, get on this weekend claim. Abel is Canadian, but they haven't really, it's not really known as
Not
well.
known, yeah.
No, not as much.
Just claim him. You got to throw him up there. And we were at the weekend's first concert. That's a name
At the
drop.
at the Mod Club?
The Mod Club.
Yeah.
It
It was a fun ass show.
He was raw. He was young. He was nervous. It was fantastic.
There used to be a bar, an after hours bar that you could go always see him at. I forgot the name of it, but
It was a different time. But yeah, let's. I'm sure people out there on the stream team right now, if you polled them, how many people would know that the weekend is Canadian?
yeah.
Claim him. Throw him up there. Why the heck not?
They claim him.
Claim them.
Claim him.
Okay. Trey.
Those are good answers. This one's not. Because I actually don't know who's getting their number retired from this clip. It's a clip from Dawson's Creek that's been going around.
Oh, I love this.
On Twitter this week. And it's James Vanderbeek throwing a basketball at Josh Jackson's head. Hits him in the face, and the ball rockets right into the camera.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
cool.
it's
This
incredible.
is amazing. So, I don't know. Maybe you're retiring Dawson's number. Maybe the director. Maybe Pacey's number for getting hit in the face. But it's good.
Do you believe that was one of those like rubber balls
Like you
just
buy for
looks-
$1.99
Yeah,
at a
that you would give to a
grocery
child.
store or something like that.
That like you could really bounce because that can't be a real ball.
100%.
It rockets off his face
Yeah.
very, very fast. Yeah, so it's got to be. Or like great CGI.
It's definitely not CGI. It's
Dawson's Creek. We blew the complete CGI budget on this one shot.
Joshua Jackson, also Canadian.
There you go. Claim him. Yeah.
Claim him.
Claim him.
I mean,
Collect
you're
them all,
retiring
man.
WWE. You just retired Joshua Jackson.
All right, last one.
man.
Moving over to baseball, the Baltimore Orioles have a weird home run celebration.
Yep.
Here's a
got the
here's a
clip?
shot of it. Not the
Oh,
clip
okay,
because
photo.
it's MLB and I don't want to deal with it. But it's called the Homer hose, not to be confused with the Dong Bong. I don't know.
That's a great name.
It is it should be the Dong Bong. Basically, when a player returns to the dugout, they chug a bottle of water through a beer bong. Okay?
Yeah.
Why not?
We used to always have debates that you could get drunk off water if you drank enough of it.
Sure, I believe it.
Really?
Water poisoning's a thing.
Yeah, I
Water's
guess.
weird.
Yes, yeah.
It's only 500 mil though.
Yeah. They're thirsty anyway. I don't really get that.
I know,
To be
I-
honest, it's kind of stupid.
I sort of agree.
Yeah.
anyway.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, it's too much water. You mean?
it's just dumb. It's like it's. Anyways.
It'd be cooler to do the Stone
beer
Cold
bong.
with two
Yeah.
water bottles. And
Yeah.
Give
They
me a
will.
hell
They
yeah.
will.
Yeah, that's a good one. No, should be my answer.
It's baseball. It should just be a beer. Why not?
Yes, that's
Why
it.
not?
Yes.
Right? You just hit a home run. Your work is done, basically.
At least for a good 10 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. All right. What's a team celebration you'd like to see, Skeets?
Well, I would like to see this on the basketball court after a big shot, maybe as they're going into a timeout, because you need some time to celebrate, of course. But it's a celebration from a different sport, from a video game of our Ute. Remember the Blades of Steel goal celebration? I think we have a clip.
Wow.
When you would score in Blades of Steel,
Oh, no.
Get outta here,
Sorry,
Clipper kid.
Clipper, bro.
when you would score in this, the guy that scored the goal would go to the little bottom of your screen and just like pump his stick in the air while the other four created a perfect box around him and sort of skated on the spot. So I think if you did that exact celebration in any other sport, football in the end zone would be fun, basketball after a big shot, I think it would look hilarious. And I think enough people, older people, would be like, that's the Blades of Steel celebration.
That's the Blades of Steel right there. I love the goalie furious. Just, hey! This thing don't work?
In grabbing that clip this morning, holy crap.
Memories.
The sound of that
Oh,
game.
God, it's awful.
It's awful, but it's just like took me back
Oh, yeah.
immediately to playing the game. It's crazy. Just the sound, not even watching it. The selection on the screen, one player or two players, and team. Ding.
Yeah.
the,
And then
the
that dumb
intro
fan.
song.
Yeah.
That's the crowd.
The roar of the crowd is.
Some NBA team should pipe that in when somebody's at the line. The
Their own-
Blades of Steel
Yes.
crowd.
Yes. Tassie.
That was a good one. I'm going to go with the opposite. At a celebration that should be stopped. In baseball specifically. The forearm bash. I think it's got to stop.
You don't like the bash?
I love the bash.
I'm surprised that someone hasn't got hurt, like bone to bone. That's why I want to take it away. I'm not
Sure, what you're
shocked.
talking. Let's say they bash their.
They go. They try and go meaty to meaty. Like let's say,
Yeah, yeah.
I got no meat.
yeah. Well,
It's all bone.
Yeah, actually, I take it all back because you're bony and we didn't get injured. And I tried to go bone to bone. I just thought initially, obviously, usually forearms are big. You go, meaty, muscly part to muscly part of the forearm, no
Right.
problem.
Yeah.
We're going back to Maguire and Canseco. They still do it all the time. I'm shocked, but I was just shocked that no one got injured. And I tried to do it with my wife.
I
today.
think
We
it's
did it with
more
Skeets
like
today.
unlike or I'm
Because
more
they wind
surprised.
up.
Yeah, that's true. You know when the guys do like the almost the shoulder and shoulder link up.
Yeah.
You see that in some sports.
Yeah.
That one I'm always like, feels like you can I don't know,
Dislocate your
dislocate your shoulder or something.
comes in
Yeah.
too hot.
Yeah, exactly. But
Anyways, I take it back because we did a little even bone to bone action. No one got hurt.
here,
So-
you throw up both yours and we'll double bash it here.
No, a double bash.
Here we go.
Oh, this is What do you mean?
It's never been
so
done.
Separately.
No.
No, you gotta
threw
be
up?
like,
Oh,
You just went yard?
Okay, you gotta come at sure.
Yeah,
you gotta come at me hard though.
All right. I guess
ju-
I'm going left arm. All right, here we go.
Left arm?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
gotta swing it.
Okay.
Here we go.
Wants to break your arm?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
can,
That's how hard
if you
they
can.
swing.
Mellis goes deep.
Bang! Yeah,
cool.
it doesn't hurt.
No, it doesn't hurt at all. Keep it.
I
mine
take
feels
it.
fine.
I take it back.
It's actually good.
I think my
Yeah.
arm's broken.
Guess there's a reason it's been around for so long.
All right, Trey.
Yeah, I want a team to line dance on the sideline.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, remember there was like that recent picture of the Bucks. They were all like sitting cross-legged.
Yeah.
That's a cool thing when like people sit cross-legged in baseball. Like somebody gets a base hit, you do like a pop,
Yeah,
pop, switch it
yeah,
up.
yeah.
Just stand. Do a full boot, scoot, and boogie. I honestly think it should be the Nuggets that do it. Bruce Brown, the man's a cowboy.
Yeah.
DeAndre Jordan, he thinks he's a cowboy as well. And then, of course, Nikola Jokic is the most horse-associated
right.
superstar we've ever had in the NBA. He's the leading horseman out there. So I would love to see them doing some moves on the sideline.
It's a good one.
It's a good one. That
Very
would
good.
look
It's just-
amazing.
Yeah.
If like somebody hit a big corner three and the bench stood up and did like a couple line dance moves.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing.
We brought it up recently. The guy who's famous for it on Instagram, like that, he's solo dancing, but it's kind of a line dance.
Clog guy?
Is it Claw guy? I don't know. The guy he's just
The
so
blue
smooth
shirt? Oh,
with
the blue
it.
shirt
He's
guy.
so-
Yeah.
He is so smooth.
I
with
love
it.
that guy.
I don't get hooked often on Instagram, but that guy gets me every time I'm
That
watching.
guy's got moves.
Yeah, they call him blue shirt guy.
Clogger, yeah.
Clogger, yeah.
Creek Clogger?
Yeah, that sounds right. Oh, that guy's awesome. Zeb Ross is his name.
That boy can clog.
All right,
Keep going. This is good.
No, this is long.
Zeb
good
Ross,
It's
the
too long. The
Clogger.
playoffs are starting. All right,
Country
guys.
Clog.
Let's call it there. Let's hear, especially that last one. I think you guys are going to have some great answers. I'm sure you got them going in the stream team. Drop them in the YouTube comments. Tweet them in at @NoDunksing. What's a team celebration you would like to see adopted? Let us know. New No Dunks coming tomorrow. Yeah, we're going to do a little Saturday morning podcast. I think we're going to get some entertaining games here in the play-in games tonight. So we'll have one for you tomorrow morning. You can join us live if you want. Ballpark, 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. We'll let you know on Twitter when we're going live. Just make sure you subscribe, and then you get alerted when we're going live. Otherwise, guys, I won't see you for a couple days.
Yeah, have a great marathon.
Until I chime in while I'm running live. I'll be in Boston for a couple days, but these guys will be holding it down come Monday when we're talking about the NBA playoffs. Great timing on my part. Great timing on the Boston Marathon
You got
part.
time, man. You're going to miss like one game a series.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Marathon starts when
Me
you
too,
get
yeah.
back.
I can't wait to listen to you guys talk about them, though. So, yeah, that's
You running
coming
a
next
Hawks
week.
jersey?
Running a Hawks jersey.
Running a Hawks jersey? Boston Marathon?
Wow, I'd get like
Nipples
pelted with stuff. It'll be booing me
Make
the
you go
whole
faster,
time.
though.
People chasing me.
The crowd just furiously
Throwing beans at me. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Maybe. Guys, enjoy the opening weekend of the NBA playoffs. Again, we'll see you tomorrow or on Monday, whenever we see you next. Till then, Clipper Bros.
You heard it here first. Have a great time. Turn up. Love you guys. Awesome.
Thanks for joining us. And remember, Stream Team, what would be your celebration? If you all streamed together?
Subscribe.
Oh, subscribe. That's better than what I was thinking.
Click the button.
Quick celebration.
Brace the weekend, people.